Hello everybody, Trevor here. This world is full of change, and I'm normally the kind of guy who despises change because it's so overwhelming and it takes a while to adjust. There have been plenty of bad changes recently, like Thomas Wood replacing the classic wooden railway, as well as certain parts of Big World Big Adventures. Like the unnecessary dream sequences, and Thomas the Tank Engine being the new narrator of the show. Ugh, that's just weird. But sometimes change can be a good thing, and that's why I'm making this video defending a brand new Thomas toy called Trackmaster Push Along. Now, before you flame me in the comments section, let's go back in time to the beginning of Thomas merchandising history. When I was a toddler, one of my very first Thomas toys was the Ertl range. It was my #1 favorite Thomas toy of all time, next to Wooden Railway. Ertl was pretty popular during the 1990s, but then it got discontinued in the early 2000s and was replaced with Take Along. I know some people don't like Take Along, mainly because it replaced the more detailed Ertl, but for me, I find it pretty okay. It's not perfect, but still okay. Even though I like the original Ertl models better, I still think Take Along is a decent successor because it's like Ertl and Wooden Railway combined. The big difference is that they have a special two-way magnetic feature, which can connect to either side of the toy, unlike Wooden Railway which have one-way magnets, and that's what made Take Along special. But then in 2010, an upgraded version of Take Along, known as Take and Play, was released to the public. Like Take Along, I also find Take and Play acceptable because it's exactly the same as the predecessor, but with updated details. Sadly, the range went downhill starting in late 2014, where the old two-way magnets were replaced with the dumb one-way magnets. I was disappointed in this change because not only do the new magnets look too similar to Wooden Railways, but the bodies were also too bulky. It just looks like the engines gained weight. Fortunately, in 2017, Take and Play was gone and was replaced by a similar range called Adventures. I like Adventures because it got rid of the one-way magnets and replaced them with hook couplings similar to the good old days of Ertl, but this was too good to last. In December of 2018, the range was suddenly discontinued and was replaced with Trackmaster Push Along. Not to say that Trackmaster Push Along is bad, it's decent and all, but it made me wonder, why did they replace Adventures so soon? Was Adventures not doing well enough? I thought it was decent. Wouldn't it make sense for it to last for about 5 years or so, just like with Take Along and Take and Play? Well, from what I've heard, Adventures wasn't doing as well as Take and Play, and that kids would often put their die-cast trains onto Trackmaster Track. Like with the Superstation and all that. Now, as mentioned in the title of this video, I am defending Trackmaster Push Along. Why? Because for one thing, kids can have fun pushing along these new toys onto Trackmaster Track. And of course, that's what they're designed for. But the biggest reason why I like these new toys is that they remind me of those non-motorized play rail trains that you can get in Japan. And with the push-along trains, you can couple them up with your motorized engines and watch them be pulled along the track. So all in all, this is a pretty good successor to Adventures. It's not perfect, but still better than some of the other newer stuff today. Ertl isn't perfect either, and I do acknowledge its faults, but it will always hold a special place in my heart. Trackmaster Push Along just goes to show you that sometimes change can be a good thing. I mean, just because something replaced another thing doesn't always make it bad. Sometimes you just got to give something a chance for a while. That way, you can have a full opinion on something. Otherwise, you'll just miss out on it. So, is Adventures dead? Yes, it is. Long live Trackmaster Push Along.